Well, good evening. Cheers. I'm a lemonade tonight, no tea. Actually, that's tonic water. Because I'm after the quinine in it. Cause I'll tell you something. I woke up this morning and I had severe cramp in my legs. I was screaming. I was absolutely screaming this morning in bed. Cramp in my back of my lower legs, particularly my right leg. It was jam solid. I was screaming like that. I'm not too bad now. I've got up and moved around a bit. I'm not too bad now, but that's good stuff for quinine. Yeah, nice to be here. It's been a while. To be honest with you, I haven't really been anywhere near the workbench, the painting table. There's me saying just before Christmas, I would get this job finished before the new year. We're in May and it's still not finished. It's all but finished. But I've been so busy, sidetracked with other things. I've been sort of spring cleaning my apartment as I'm not going out much. So I spring clean the apartment. Outing stuff, getting rid of old furniture and all sorts of stuff like that. I'll tell you something. I had a lot of old paperwork going back years. Energy bills, bank statements, cash point, chits, all that type of stuff, and junk mail as well. So I thought, I gotta get rid of this stuff. I can't just put it out for recycling, that's a bit foolish. You need to shred it. So I went online and looked for what sort of shredder to buy, and apparently the best shredders you can buy is what they call a cross-cut shredder, which doesn't just shred it into little long strips, shreds it into little pieces, like that, or that, little tiny pieces. It's much safer. So I ordered the shredder, it duly arrived. I thought, right, put it through its paces now. 3 and a bit days later, we finished the shredding. I ended up, believe it or not, this is dead honest truth, I ended up with 9 dustbin bags full of shredded paper. 9 bags. And it's sad when you think, that used to be trees, living trees, and they're just cutting down trees to print this crap which they send you, which you either put in the bin or shred, put it out for the recycling, they recycle it, print more crap, and send it back to you. It's living this endless cycle. You had 9 bags of this stuff. Excuse me, but I put it out for the recycle, and they took the lot. So that's great, but 3 and a bit days. So that was 3 and a bit days I didn't paint. Then I built a new antenna for my shortwave, because I run another channel besides this one. I run another channel for shortwave. So I built a new antenna for that, so I had to install that. And then you got to sort of trim it to the optimum length, what you think is the best length. So that took time, and then I had to remove the old ones from the loft. It all takes time, but last day or so we have been working on these command figures for the Wellington command stand. That's the guy himself. A little bit to do. Prussian. Excuse the light coming in from the window. There's a bit of a bright window. Prussian command figures. So they're all starting to look more or less it. There isn't much to do on them at all, really. The main figure that needs work doing is that guy. But that's not going to take much, actually, because he's all one colour, just very, very, very dark green, sort of 95th Rifle green. A couple of horses just to finish off, and that's it. So there's really not much to do. A good session and a half. Should see this lot finished, no problem. So there you go. So that's where we're at. Excuse me a minute. Our wet palette by Green Stuff, the extra large wet palette by Green Stuff, which I've been using because we're trying different palettes. As I told you in previous video, papers are too big, so you've got to cut them down. So that's a minus point. You need to leave a little bit of a gap when you put it in the fridge at night. Don't put the top flat on it and seal it. Leave a gap, about for half an inch or so, for some air to circulate in. Otherwise you get condensation build up, which drips into paint. So you've got to leave a gap. People talk about how can I get an airtight seal on my wet palette and all this business. You don't need it. You don't need it. You need a little bit of airflow to stop the condensation build up. And I found with this one also the sort of sponge is starting to go a bit already, which is a disappointment. I'm not really happy with the sponge. I'm already missing my chocolate box with my Spontex sponges. I'm sort of missing that. The Italian, I'll tell you something, the Italian boys were right when they went to the chocolate boxes and sponges. They were absolutely right. It's the best I've used so far. The Army Painter wet palette is pretty good, I have to say. Paper's alright. Sponge is a good sponge in it. A nice antibacterial coating on the tray, which is nice. The only problem I have with it is, for my sort of style of painting these days, it's a bit small. If Army Painter did a large, extra large palette, I think that would be something like it. But it's a pretty good palette. Army Painter is a pretty good palette. This one, this Green Stuff, what should we say? 6.5 out of 10. But I've still got others here to try. So we'll see how we get along. But I do miss my Ferrero Rocher chocolate box of Spontex sponges. That seems to be 10 out of 10 for me, personally. I think that's where it's at. It's just, the Italians were right. Use the chocolate box. It's perfect. It's perfect. But we'll see how we get along. Anyway, yeah, do you know what these are? Hopefully you can see these. Yeah, you can see them. Anybody out there know what they are? Yeah, I hear somebody shouting seeds. I know there's seeds. Anybody know what sort of seeds they are? Actually, they're elm seeds from an elm tree, which you don't see very often these days. You don't see many elm trees about. So, I happen to know where there's one or two elm trees, and when they're in seed, they produce a heck of a lot of seed, I tell you. You know, when I got down, there was a veritable carpet of seeds on the ground. So I as it happened, I had a little container in my pocket, so I picked some up. What you do with them is, if you want to germinate them, which is what I'm going to try and do, you air dry them for a couple of days, then you put them on something that's damp, and then you put them somewhere that's reasonably coldish sort of temperature. I'm not going to put them in the fridge or anything, but something that's not warm, if you see what I mean. And hopefully they should germinate. Then you can put them in your compost or whatever you want to do with them. That's the theory behind those elm seeds. So we're going to have a go propagating some elm seeds. See if we can get that to work. I'm also got here soaking, which I'm going to have a go growing, believe it or not, is bananas. I've got some banana seeds and some date palm seeds. So we're going to have a go at that, because pygmy bananas and pink bananas and stuff make good house plants, believe it or not. They don't grow huge, so they apparently make good house plants. So we thought for a bit of fun we'd have a go growing some bananas and date palms. So it'd be interesting to see. Anyway, it's beginning of the month. We're in May already. Can't believe how it's going. Wait for it, we'll all be talking about Christmas before long. And I'll be making them little Christmas trees again, which I took to my WI Christmas party. I took a whole box of them I made. Came home empty-handed. Everybody liked them so much they wanted them. But that's how quickly time's going. I mean, it's just racing by. I mean, it's just... So anyway, I was going to say first of the month, but it's now the third of the month. So giveaway time. I bought something I'd never seen before. Well, I've seen, but I've never handled before. And that is some 3D printed figures. I saw them online and thought, I'll have a go at them. And they are, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Kyushineko Samurai. I think that's the company that made them, Kyushineko. The 3D printed, 28mm, 3D printed Kyushineko Samurai. They come complete with stands. I think for 3D printed figures, hopefully you can see them with the light. I think they put them over here a bit so you can see them. I think they are very, very nice indeed. They've even got these samurai, they wear those square wooden things on their feet. Very primitive form of sort of like wooden sole. You can even see them on the feet. I think they're very, very good. I would be more than happy to paint them. So there's 6 Kyushineko, I can't remember say it, Kyushineko Samurai figures with stands. 3D printed in resin. Very nice. I would quite happily buy some of these for myself, having seen them, but I won't, because I've got samurai figures in 135 here, which is another story for another day. But very nice. That's it. Kyushin Echo Samurai Warriors 28mm 3D printed in resin for somebody. So if you want to enter the draw for the Kyushin Echo Samurai Warriors, just in your comment below, put Nippon, or failing that, just put a little Japanese flag. Most of you are on iPhones and stuff and all that. Just put a little Japanese flag, the rising sun, or just write Nippon, and you can enter the draw for the Kyushin Echo Samurai Warriors 3D printed. That's the first 3D printed stuff I've looked at in the hand, and I must say, very impressed, very good. So there you are. I can't think of anything else to say. No, that's it. Nice to be back from my sort of enforced absence with all the sorting and outing stuff and getting rid of paper, and hopefully now back on the bench again. I've still got quite a lot of stuff to do here. Hopefully back on the bench a bit more regularly now. Yeah, we'll tell you what I think of it. We'll do the draw for the Kyushin Echo Samurai. We'll do that, what's today? Tuesday evening, Wednesday, Friday. We'll do it Saturday evening. The draw for the Kyushin Echo 28mm Samurai, we'll do it Saturday evening. So that's me done. Command fingers nearly finished. I think what I'll do is, I'm still trying to work out in my mind exactly which way I'm going to put these on the base, how I'm going to arrange these. But as I showed you in previous video, I have some packs of trees here. So I think I'm going to put some trees at the back. Maybe some of those conifers, some of them at the back. And then put the figures on. I think that's the way I'll do it. But yeah, not far off finishing this project now. It's all but done. Hooray! Then I can get into the stash pile and do something totally different. I'm sick of Napoleonics. Sick to the back. Jesus, I must have painted about 850 to 900 figures. So enough's enough. Anyway, to anybody that's subscribed lately, thank you very much. Always nice to have new subscribers. Very grateful. Glad you like what you see. Tell your friends. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, click the button below and you won't miss anything. And we'll see you on the next one.